Hi everyone, welcome back to Healing with Love. Today is going to be a twin flame reading / pick a card, but you know how my pick a card readings work. There is a message in the whole reading, not just one selection. We want the grand perspective, not just one part. So this is why I don't put timestamps in these particular readings. So your message is just going to be in either the first row, the second row, or the third row. So either you can pick Batman, a little crime-fighting superhero, Buddha, spiritual superhero, and E.T., our little alien superhero. So whichever superhero you are drawn to, feel free to pick that one. Now, this is going to be a two-part reading because I was guided today to read not just intuitively, but to read the cards, because I am honoring the writers today, honoring the people that write these books. We always focus on the card and we forget that somebody actually spent time to write these amazing books, the amazing information on all these cards. So today we're getting a little bit of both. So I will put the link for video number 2 in the description box. So here we go. Take 3 deep breaths, pick your card, and we will begin. Okay, everybody. So here we go. If you picked little Batman, top row here, we're just going to do a little quick rundown. And I'm going to read them slightly different today. I'm going to do a quick rundown this way, but then I'm going to go down, doing like a tic-tac-toe. Up, down, a little crisscross. Crisscross applesauce. Okay, so for the songs, I've got Third Eye Blind, Losing a Whole Year. I remember when you and me used to spend the whole damn day in bed. This is about remembering the past, remembering past relationships, also past lives. But also the feeling that you lost a whole year. You know, whether this be through procrastination or fear, but losing a whole year. And I'm seeing also as going beyond time. Because time, it's almost like time sped up in a way. Okay, moving on to song number 2. Glorious Day by Weezer, and that's on the Green album, so I'm seeing some heart chakra activity. And it's about making your move. So with ideas and inspirations, it's listening to your heart, because I'm seeing unconditional love here. Listening to your heart, listening to your guides, listening to your angels, listening. And following through on what you hear. So I actually got, I'm going to keep going with the songs, then I'll get to this card in a minute. But so Glorious Day, gonna make my move. Never mind the past, living for today. So that's letting go of the past, letting go of, you're going to make your move. You're not going to be listening to anybody anymore. You're going to be listening to yourself. And you're going to let go of the past so you can move forward, like a clean slate. Never mind the past, living for today. And then it says, right. So that can be R-I-G-H-T, and it could also be W-R-I-T-E. So right as in doing what's right, going from a intuitive, creative perspective, the right side, using the right side of the brain. But I'm also seeing write as in writing, whether that's stories, journaling, poetry, music. I'm seeing writing in some forms because I'm seeing all these creative ideas. And for some reason, the conflict is almost like the conflict with yourself, whether you listen to your inspiration and ideas. But there's so much meaning. And it says, gonna do what's right, standing in the light, perching on the clouds. So, clouds. And standing in the light, no matter what you do, even when there's conflict, you stand in the light. Okay. And then we got, the third song was Time by the Culture Club. What's interesting about that song is, as I was listening to it, I was shuffling, and I kept thinking of their other song, Karma Chameleon, and then the Karma Chameleon song came out. So that was a beautiful synchronicity. So time. This could be the best place yet, but you must overcome your fears. And time makes people think that they've got more than they do. So time, let's say, you know, you've known somebody for 20 years and you meet somebody that you've only known a year, and you can have a better connection with that person that you just met versus that person you've known for 20 years, because time means nothing. But people like to be proud of the time. You know, we've been together 20 years. They're very proud of that. And that's great if it's allowing you to grow, because really time is just time. You know, it's a man-made concept. It really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of life. So if you're in a relationship for 20 years that has been stifling your growth, that time really doesn't mean anything. So now we're going to just do the quick rundown. Okay, so I'm seeing the Awakening card, which is 3, which is about communication. I'm seeing hold the space. So you're holding the space for those that you love, those that have not woken up yet, because you have conflicting ideas. You know, as we awaken and ascend, you almost feel like nobody gets you. But you always have to come from a space of unconditional love, knowing that they will get there in their own time. But it brings a lot of conflict. You know, you lose a lot of friends. A lot of people say you've changed. Oh man, you've changed. Yeah, that's a good thing. You know, if they're stuck in their thing, you let them be stuck in their thing. Don't listen to them. You know, it's almost like you're listening to other people to make your decisions versus listening to your own heart. Okay, so we're going to start. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of mirroring going on between the cards. So some of the cards that are here and vice versa. It's beautiful, amazing synchronicities. So up here we've got the 999, we've got 369, we've got lots of magic, we've got cleansing, grounding, manifesting, forgiveness, lots of cats, black cats, communication, miracles, streams of consciousness. So that's interesting for this card. Okay, we're going to start with the Druid. So, you know, if you look at him, he's got the Staff of Wisdom and he's got the crystal. He's got the tattoo that looks like Kib, the Mayan symbol, which is the owl, which is so wise. And it's interesting because this is Celtic and that's Mayan, so they're different. But this is the number 17, and we know that 17 is the twin flame number. So that's really interesting. And he's got the long hair, the long dreadlocks, and it's almost like Avatar, the antenna feelers. You know, it senses things. And we've got the connection to trees. You know, they created the tree language. But mostly I'm seeing Kundalini Awakening, hitting that. You know, this is I think the Magician card traditionally, because it's the first card. And so this is you know, the Staff of Wisdom. He's divinely protected. He's got all this wisdom, and he's finally stepping into this energy. So this is almost the masculine energy right here. Then we've got Chameleon, which is the number 3, which is about communication. So this is Awakening. This is the Awakening card. So 12, you know, we know that 1 is new beginnings, and 2 is peace, love, and harmony, co-creating with others. So I'm seeing a new beginning, you know, the awakening process, balancing of the scales and balancing of the mind, body, spirit aspect. So the need to balance that. We've got Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. So, you know, we know Mary Magdalene is Jesus' twin flame. I'm seeing this salve, so I'm seeing holistic healing, or like, you know, lotions and oils, essential oils and stuff like that. And she was, you know, misunderstood. People thought that she was a whore, and she really wasn't, because that was just the smear campaign to keep her hidden, to keep the truth hidden, to control. Okay? But you're coming from a space, love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter the outward appearance. So that's where the conflict, I'm seeing this, the conflict goes with that. Anyway. Ideas and inspiration. So what's interesting with this card is I'm seeing, you know, this is listening. and she's listening for divine inspiration, and it's being whispered to her. See, here she's like listening because she's looking up and she's listening. Here is she's more in deep thought, and the ideas are coming. So I'm seeing this stillness, you know, ideas and inspirations coming through the stream of consciousness. I always say that it's the stream of consciousness is interesting because ideas, it's like a stream, and you know, you throw your little fishing pole in there, and you pull up your idea. And a lot of people come up with the ideas with the same idea at the same time because of that stream of consciousness. But it's all about whoever actually catches the fish and actually does something with it. You know, you pick it out of the stream of consciousness and you do something with it. It's action. Physical action. So I'm seeing physical activity. So actually so if you have an idea for a poem, right? You put it down, and that's your physical activity. You're actually putting it down. Okay, so then we got I'm also seeing this as clairaudient, so listening to you're starting to hear, you know, the high pitched sounds and frequencies. People would say, some people would say that's tinnitus. I don't think of it. I don't see it that way. It's you're tapping into your clairaudient abilities, the listening. And then we've got Moonstone, which is Mother Goddess. So I'm loving the pink energy because it looks just like the Mary Magdalene, and they're both the divine goddess. It's the number 9. So we've got 9, and then we've got 6. So we got 3, 6, 9, which is very cool. Yeah, so this is the Mother Goddess. And I'm also seeing, so this is also new projects as well. So I'm seeing creative projects. So the divine masculine energy is a lot of creative projects coming through. Wise, using that wisdom, putting that wisdom into use. Mother Goddess. Tapping into that divine feminine energy as well, coming from a compassionate space. Conflict, Stibnite. So this could be conflict with, because we're seeing a lot of mother, so maybe it could be conflict with the divine feminine, and not necessarily you're fighting with her, but you're conflicted whether you should move forward because you're listening to the opinions of others. And this is saying to let that go. Do your thing. But it could also be conflict with a mother, conflict with a friend, because I'm seeing friendship. So maybe this is conflicting because there's a friendship involved. But you always got to listen to your heart. We've got the unconditional love here. So, and then over here we've got physical activity. So this is talking about moving, move. This has been coming through. We're in the full moon. Was it yesterday or today? Whenever it is for you, whenever you're watching this is timeless. But physical activity, but like I said, this is also the physical activity of putting your ideas into, putting them out there. Movement. But I'm also seeing moving that energy. So we got the Kundalini awakening over here. So moving that energy up from the root up to the crown and back down. And it's like you need movement. The body needs to move. It's like I had just posted a video or posted a post on my Instagram that talked about this. And when I had my Kundalini awakening, it almost felt like the energy was getting stuck. And I kept hearing, because I was listening, I kept hearing, shake it off, shake it. And so I would shake my body, and I felt that energy moving beyond where it was stuck. So physical movement is key. Jumping jacks, yoga, because there's also, down here we got flexibility. So, possibly take up yoga or do some morning stretches, maybe some Tai Chi, whatever physical activity it is. Even if it's just, 10 jumping jacks, at least you did something to balance the mind, body, spirit. I always say, read a little something, move a little bit, and pray or meditate a little bit. And then you've got all 3 of them down, right? And then we got Abracadabra. I love it. Love, one of my favorite cards. It's 21, 12, so I'm seeing mirroring again. So you're mirroring the divine feminine. Currently mirroring the divine feminine, which is very cool. And, 3 is the magic number. We've got 3 and 3, so 33. Magic number 33, the number of enlightenment. So I'm seeing the masculine energy is reaching that enlightenment third eyes awakening. They're seeing the truth. Abracadabra. Okay. Then we've got Snow White. I love this little card. You know, she bit the apple that the witch gave her and she went into a coma, right? But then the prince came, or princess, and gave her the kiss of life. Now she's waking up. She's got this deep connection. You know, it says you inspire trust and confidence. She's got this deep connection with Mother Earth and all its creatures. So, and I'm seeing this as an advocate card, so charity. Speak up for those that can't speak for themselves. You know, children, animals, Mother Earth, people, humans. You know, so this is a humanitarian aspect. What did you advocate for? So when I had a near-death experience of sorts, and I remember when I was going through the life review process, I was asked, what did you advocate for? What did you advocate for? And they ran the list down of the things that I advocated for. So, you know, we're here to make a difference. We're here to advocate and do something. Yeah, it's fun as well, but, you know, advocate for something or someone, you know. Share a meaningful post that'll uplift somebody, or, you know, they got like the change.org where you can go sign petitions and stuff. But I'm seeing animals here, so advocate for animals. Then we've got the mildew fairy. Cleanup time. So the mildew fairy, this can be cleaning up your house, your body, your relationships. So I'm seeing the friendship card here. Nurture the bonds of friendships within your relationship and your love life will dramatically improve. But we're not going with that card there, or the meaning of that. We're just seeing the friendship card, unconditional love. You know, loving your friends from afar. If they are limiting your growth, love them from afar. You know, as you're ascending, you have to let go of the attachments to people, places, and things. But I'm also seeing the body. So that physical activity card came through. When we move our body, we release the negative toxins from our body and the negative energy from our body. So, and she's got the crystal ball there. So it's, if, you know, when your body is cloudy, you know, your vision is cloudy. So you want to see clearly, you know, we want to clear the toxins. There's a great, if you're trying to detox, you know, they got that little yogi tea, the detox tea. Have one of those every day, you know, or have something that, you know, have some fiber in your diet. Really help yourself remove the toxins from your body. Number 15, which is about balance. Family as well, nurturing yourself. So I'm seeing possibly conflict with family about the new you is how I would say it. Conflict with the new you. But never mind the past. You're living for today. Hey. Okay, so awesome. I love that it was 369. So, you know, Tesla's magic number, if you only knew the magnificence of 369, you would have a key to the universe. And an interpretation that I've always resonated with is 369 is the creative numbers, the creativity numbers. So without them, the universe doesn't exist. Without the creators, without the imagination, you know, because we imagine all these things into life. So very cool. Okay, we're going to move on. Eventually I'm going to go down and read the cards down because I want to read the booklets. Today I was guided to read the booklets. To balance the left and the right side of the brain, because that came through over here where we want to balance the left and the right, kind of like playing pong, ding dong ding, or tennis, you know. Okay, so the next one, we've got the little Buddha. So if you chose the little Buddha, which is interesting that, you know, the feminine got enlightenment up here and magic, and little Buddha's enlightenment. So it's a mirroring. You're mirroring each other. Okay, so we've got the High Priestess card. We've got Bast, so the black cat. She's got the gold cobra, which represents the golden enlightenment energy. We got the Christ consciousness energy moving up, the Kundalini awakening, moving beyond, lifting the roof off your soul of sorts, because we've got the Merkaba here, traveling in your light body, so astral travel. But this is the enlightenment card, the High Priestess card, the divine feminine card. So it says harness your mystical powers. and she's got a sistrum in her hand, and which is like it's almost like a little handheld harp. So I'm seeing music as so I was talking up here about listening. So listening to music, listening to binaural beats, just listening, you know, playing an instrument, the strumming and the plucking of, I'm seeing a harp. Okay, moving on to the gorilla. This is unconditional love card. So another mirroring right here. This is the unconditional love card of this deck. It's the number 13. Got 13 up here as well. And you know, it's a big heart. Big heart. And it's communication. Communicating love, communicating from a heart space. Well, we got up here about communicating love as well. Okay. The next one we got is sorceress. You are magical. You are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. So we got the high priestess. Not only do we get the high priestess, we've got hematite, which is about manifestation. We've got Rhiannon, which is about magic and manifestation. And then we've got the black cat, which is about manifestation. And then we got another black cat. So this is absolutely fascinating that this came through. So a lot of magic. The feminine is in her magic mode right now. The feminine is magic. And so it's almost like, you know, this one is almost like the Snow White card in the sense, because this is about, the Snow White card is, you know, talks about shape-shifting as well. And this is about shape-shifting as well. So, and she's a muse. So perhaps she is the muse to the divine masculine and his ideas. You know, she's inspiring him to write, to create. She's the inspiration. I'm hearing that song, I think it's Chicago. You're the inspiration. It's almost like, you know, I was talking about the kiss of life. Over here, Snow White. So the feminine gave him the kiss of life. The feminine opened up a new portal to his heart. And now he's seeing. He's no longer blind. Okay. And then, so we got forgiveness. And this is also like the Mary Magdalene card. Loving people unconditionally and forgiving them. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. Absolutely. There's actually something I'm going to talk about later. It's a quote that I just saw in some TV show that I was watching. And he's talked about, he's like, if you don't listen to your heart, you know, if you calculate too much, that you lose your indecisiveness. So listening to your heart is going to lead you always down the path that you need to go. Okay, so then we got grounding, hematite. And so this also talks about manifesting this new project, manifesting your dreams and your desires, grounding to deep Mother Earth, and it looks almost exactly like stibnite. Same silver energy, like the silver cord. And this also talks about healing PTSD trauma, so forgiving those that have hurt you in the past. So I'm seeing a lot of childhood trauma, ex relationships trauma. So I'm seeing parents trauma, experiencing something traumatic. So grief. So this is forgiving those that were involved in the trauma. Okay, and then so the middle road is this almost reminds me of conflict a little bit. Because it's almost like being in limbo, straddling the both sides of the world. I call it being the bridge. So you do straddle both sides of spirit and earth. You're in the middle and you're able to connect to both sides. Amazonite's one of my favorites, but we got 4 and we got 4 here again. So 44. Very cool. And Amazonite aligns with your life purpose, and it shows the truth in all things. It's a deep internal reflection, but it's also about manifesting as well. But I'm mostly seeing limbo. That feeling of limbo when you're awakening, you almost feel like you died. Because I know I felt like I died. Sorry about that. My dog just puked on the rug. Okay, where was I? Amazonite. Yeah, so feeling that feeling of straddling both sides. But it's also communication. Amazonite is it's a communication stone. So interesting that Moonstone came through, because I feel like Rhiannon goes with Moonstone. So once again, mirroring. And being in the middle. Hearing that song by Jimmy World. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be all right. Okay. Next one. Domestic harmony. 46. So it's the number 10, which is number 1. New beginnings in spirituality. A new you. So this was interesting. The conflict was going up here, but this is harmony. So healthy relationships, compassion, healthy boundaries, compromise, communication. I'm going to get to that communication aspect down here in a minute. But the art of communicating is both sides, is being able to listen as well as speak. And it's like, it's like pong. It's back and forth. It's back and forth. That's communication. If you're just listening, that's therapy. You're a therapist. Anyways, so domestic harmony. I'm seeing domestic harmony going on. Maybe a healthy change in occupants, roommates, etc. But just that feeling of harmony, getting along, teamwork. And then we've got hairball. And since there's a lot of cats here, I'm seeing like a cat hairball. But there is a lot of long hair here. We got the long hair up here. We got long hair over here. So I'm seeing like a hairball, like stuck in the drain type of hairball. But yeah, this is like, I was saying this in another reading, that this looked like a drain, like the bottom of a pool. When the bottom of the pool is lit up and you can swim to the bottom. So what I'm seeing with hairball is a block. The forgiveness. The need to forgive. So unclogging your own body, your own block. It's almost like you're blocking your own magic. But it's being cleared out, because I'm seeing these are all these great cards. So the middle of the road to me is the heart chakra. So blocking that out. Okay, moving on. The black cat. Now, this card popped up because I was just trying to find a place mark for one of the books that I was reading, and that was the card that popped out, which was black cat. And as I was in the middle of the reading, and I was like, holy cow. Because we got 3 black cats. So I'm seeing a black cat. And I'm seeing a book. So journaling, fortune meets opportunity. And the cats are protectors. They protect you. But okay, so we're just going to get to this black cat here. So we're seeing the scarecrow. This is 3 is about communication. But it's also, this is lost magic, atonement, and rebalance. So this is all about the need for balance. Up here we had a lot of balance. And here we need to balance, this forgiveness, the victim, being a victim of your past. It's like you're no longer a victim of your past. All those things needed to happen to make you the person that you are today. A lot of people don't like to hear that, because their stories revolve around them being a victim. So it's about empowerment. And the scarecrow is not real, right? So everything it's an illusion, to scare off the crows. But look at this one crow right here realizes that it's an illusion and is like just hanging out with the scarecrow. But this card is also about atonement. So forgiving others and forgiving yourself, because karma has come. The scales of justice and balance are here. Everybody's receiving their karma. How they've behaved and acted towards others, and what they've advocated for, etc., is coming back around. It's coming around again. So if you haven't worked on yourself, it's almost like a record playing again. Like, we're going to play this level again and see if you can do it differently this time. So we want to make sure we forgive. You don't have to. This is your journey. I'm just saying what I recommend is forgiveness. But black cats. Okay. And acknowledging your own mistakes as well. So forgiving yourself as well. That's key. Then we got number 5, which is all about freedom, adventure, and transformation. So, and this one I'm seeing the truth is coming out. Whoever lied about you, the truth is coming out, and people are seeing the truth. Is what I'm seeing here. Because people have their own ulterior motives for lying, you know. It's all about being in integrity. This ascension process and this journey requires a lot of integrity, a lot of truth. So I'm always very, even when I do my general readings, I'm always very mindful of making sure that everything resonates and is very truthful. So you have to like see that when you're talking to other people and readers and all that stuff. You know, use your own intuition. Okay, so trick or treat always reminds me of Halloween, of course. We got the pumpkins, and they're illuminated. So they illuminate the night. So you're illuminating the night for others, right? For your divine masculine to find his way. And we're here. It reminds me, I don't know why it reminds me of E.T., which is interesting because I got the little E.T. here. But it reminds me of Poltergeist and all that stuff. But I'm seeing a cauldron here, so I'm seeing alchemy, magic. So much magic. So we got magic, 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 magic. 5 different magic cards. And the answer dwells in your heart. Whoa. Something just snapped in here as soon as I said the answer dwells in your heart. So, a truth. A profound truth. Okay, and the songs, I forgot to do the songs for this one. So, You Remind Me by Usher. And that talks about, you remind me of the girl that I once knew. See her face whenever I look at you. So, it's almost like other people reminding you of people from the past. But that sometimes limits your growth because looks and actions and all that, everybody is different. So you can't compare everybody to somebody you knew in the past. They can remind you of them, but don't let it inhibit friendships, you know, growth, etc. for that very reason. But it's talking about letting go of the past. So let it go. Let go of the past. If you were hurt in the past, let it go. Let it go. That's a theme in my readings, letting it go. Frozen. Okay, so the next song is a praise chorus by Jimmy Eat World. Are you going to waste your time standing in the back looking around? Are you going to waste your time? Got to make a move, or you'll miss out. And so that reminds me of the Glorious Day Weezer song. Gonna make my move, never mind the past, living for today. So while this one, feminine, might be a little bit living in the past of the things that people have heard her, you know, it's like it's time to move forward, right? And I love the part that says crimson and clover over and over. So this is about almost feeling like you wish that you would have never met certain people. But it's like, let it go. No regrets. Everything is for the reason why you were here, right? Okay. So number 6 was Glycerin, Bush on the album 16 Stone. This must be for real because now I can feel. So this reminds me of up here. That inspiration. Because now you're feeling. It's like, this must be for real. I'm feeling it. You're both coming to the realization that this is real. I think a lot of the twin flame journeys, a lot of the people on the journey, they have doubts. Oh, this can't be real. This is not real. This is just a coincidence. This is a synchronicity. This is saying this is real. You feel it. You feel it. And you feel the connection with other twins as well. Like you recognize them. Right? And it says, don't let the days go by. And our old our old friend fear. It's like saying Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Our old friend fear. Letting that go. Letting go of the fear. The fear of moving forward. The fear of being wrong. The fear of failure. So let that go. Okay, moving on to the little ET guy. Oops, he's moving around. Okay, so I'll start with the songs again this time because since I forgot to do that here. Number 7, so Wait for You by Mumford and Sons. Use my head alongside my heart. So I always say that, using your mind and your heart and your gut in unison. And it says, paint my spirit gold. So the Christ consciousness energy that was coming through with the high priestess. So this is beautiful. And I will wait for you, which is interesting because look we got to hold the space, which is waiting for somebody. But we're not waiting, we're holding the space. So I love that that was like a confirmation. The next one is Chandelier by Sia. And the album is 1,000 Forms of Fear. 1,000 has been a theme in a lot of my readings. So the number 1,000. And so this was fear up here, letting go of the fear, right? So this is like 1,000 forms of fear. And release the shame, and you drink to cover it up. So the shame of the past. So whether you were maybe you drank too much in the past, or you did something that you felt shameful in the past, this is saying let it go. Once again, let it go, and swing from the chandelier. You know, who cares what other people think of you or say of you or of your past? That's who you were in the past. That's not who you are now. So you'll only get offended if it's who you are now. So I don't care what anybody says about me, who I was in the past, because I know who I am now. Okay, so the last song for this was Cautioners by Jim Eat World again. So we have 2 Jim Eat World songs. That's interesting because I've only got a couple of Jim Eat World songs on there. So the album was Bleed American, and as I was doing that reading, I cut my finger, and I was bleeding, and I was like, whoa, synchronicity. The time I would spend with pictures I would not send. Watch you go from left to right. I follow you all night. Which is interesting, going from left to right, so the brain going from left to right, left to right, left to right, like the Pong, like I was saying, like tennis, or, you know, Pong, I'm seeing Pong. Tron. Okay, so we're going to go here. So we've got Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right. So interesting because the first or the second song was Glorious Day by Weezer, and he's like, right, 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 we can start a glorious day. So there's a peace pipe here, letting go of the conflict. So, you know, when they come together, the conflicts are resolved, and they're the peacekeeper. And this is reminds me of the number 11, which is interesting because we got 11 here. We've got 22. 6. Anywho, Peacekeeper, resolved conflict, being under pressure, and the truth being revealed, just like the Black Cat card talking about the truth being revealed. And the White Buffalo is purity, peace, and the smoke is being divinely protected, clearing the space of negative energy. So you are divinely protected. And then we've got the Winter card, which is all about moving beyond fear. Which is interesting because I think the Hairball card is also about moving beyond fear. So we're moving beyond fear. And this is, you know, the wolf, they can actually, so I'm seeing snowflakes here. And I always talk about we are all this divine snowflake and we program ourselves, you know, with our environment or however, whatever's around us. We program ourselves. So the wolf, they can work in packs and they can work alone. That is like you. You can work in a pack and you can work alone, and it's a beautiful gift. But it's about truth being revealed. So lots of truth being revealed. The veil is being lifted. The truth is being revealed. It's like the Wizard of Oz when she, you know, pulls the curtain back and realizes everything. Very cool. Okay, so the next one, number 11, the little frog, little tree frog, and it's about patience. You know, the frog is patient, and which is interesting because the number 11 is all about patience. Number 2 is about patience, and he's a great listener and advisor. Listening, right here. So this is all mirroring together. Rebirth, luck, and it almost reminds me of like, so you had to kiss a lot of frogs before you found your prince or princess, right? So you've gone through a lot of people and you finally, this is it right here, this energy. So I'm seeing great love, a miracle, and great friendships. So this also could be, you had to, you know, go through a lot of crappy friends to finally find those true friendships that support and guide you without jealousy or ulterior motives or, you know, belittling. So I love that. Okay, so then we got Mother Mary. Expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. Love it. So miracles, healing, prayers. So I'm seeing a health, because the little tree frog is also about detoxification, and we got the mildew fairy up here, which is also about detoxification. So a health concern, a detox. And friendships. How is that? That is amazing. Friendships. 2 friendship cards. In the same placement. Pray for true friends. Changes, transformation, new friends, release old friends with conflicting beliefs. So this was talking about letting it go, letting go of these old friends, and new friendships, making room for new friendships. And they're making beautiful music together. If you look closely, they're making beautiful music together. So, and she's listening. You know, she's got a little hand by her ear and she's listening. So she's listening to spirit and the guidance that's been giving her. And so this is leading her to the people, places, and things that she needs to thrive and survive. To not just survive, but to thrive. Get to that one in a minute. So we got communication, aquamarine, one of my favorite crystals. Truth, more truth, lots of truth being revealed. Resolved conflict, so more resolved conflict. So I'm seeing unconditional love, resolved conflict. This is amazing. Compassion, you know, truth. I always say that truth without kindness is cruelty. So having, even when you're being truthful, come from a compassionate space. And truth varies. You know, some person could view things a certain way and a person could see, it's all about perspective, you know. Let's say there's this little meme that goes around where an image, and it's like the car hits the cyclist. And from this perspective over here, the person standing over here, they see that the cyclist is at fault. But then when you see from this other angle over here, you'll see that the car is at fault. But only when you're up here can you see all the perspective from a bird's eye view. Only then can you see the truth. So this is saying that, you know, get that higher perspective so you can really see the truth. Okay? Be flexible. That card was next. Be flexible in what you believe to be true. Right? You have if you're fixed, you cannot be moved. You cannot grow if you're fixed. So you have to give yourself the ability to expansion. So Brazilianite is all about decision making. You know, and it's also about creative projects, self-empowerment. So self-empowerment was up here as well. And it talks about go with the flow and let go of the opinions of others and do what you want to do. But I'm also seeing yoga. I saw yoga up here in the physical activity card. And, you know, the decision making, you know, I was saying it up here, calculating, if you calculate, you lose your decisiveness. So people want to just calculate and think and overthink, think, and you lose the decisiveness when you're overthinking. And then I love the Moldavite card came through, one of my favorites. Also 11. So we got 11, 11, 11. 1, 1, 1, 1. Moldavite. So it's the starseed card. And it's the teachers as well. Moldavite activates telepathy. And it's also about free will and gratitude and realizing that you came to Earth for this adventure. But we limit ourselves with the way we believe. You know, we feel that we deserve these things sometimes, these things to happen to us, these bad things or whatever. But we can get ourselves out of any situation if we just believe we can. Moldavite, I love that crystal. Okay, so, and then I'm seeing the spiritual partnerships. You guys are coming together. And you guys are already together. In spirit, telepathically, spiritually, you guys are already together. You might not be physically, some of you are physically together. But if you're not physically together, you're definitely in spirit. You dream of each other. You receive the messages and synchronicities and signs. Some of you know who each other are, but are afraid to come forward. That's why letting go of fear is imperative here. Sorry, my thing keeps coming off. Okay, spiritual partnerships, which is 27, which is the number 9. And this also talks about a mentor. And that came through as one of my repeating words of the week was mentor. I even did a card. The card of the day was about mentors as well. So the completion of a cycle, moving into this new spiritual partnerships where you're coming together with others to not just learn, but to teach as well, and vice versa. Give, take, give. Help each other grow, help each other live. And look at this card. Right. A lot of writing. You are right. You are on the right path. You are on the right path, guys. Number 1 is new beginnings. So completion of an old cycle, moving into on the right path now. You're on the right track. You were off track for a while, and now you're on the right track with what you're doing. You know, mentoring, leadership, inspiring others, learning, give, take, give. This is also about karmic balance. So the karma is here. So are you afraid of karma because you've done things in your past? Let it go. Okay? Karma is something that we create in our own head. So it's all in your head. I'm getting that. It's all in your head. The guilt, the shame, let it go. And swing from the chandelier. And I love this. Look at all 3 of them have the freaking drain. The bottom of the pool. The bottom of the tub. They all have the same portal. Boop. They're all going through the portal. They all went through the portal. Abracadabra, hairball, right side up. I'm going to actually read them in that order in a minute. But I love this. Spiritual partnerships. Actually, I want to leave those. Hey. Okay, so we're moving on to the little fairy bee. Number 6, which is also about balance. It popped up here. Very cool synchronicity. Over here we had 5-5, which is very cool. We had 4-4 and 5-5. Over here we had 9, 9, and 3, 3. So here we have 11, 11, 11, 22. So we got 6 here, which is all about balance, nurturing yourself and others. This is about an initiation past. You know, my life is sweet. And I just talked about this in another reading. For those of you that are new to my channel, I'll say it again, because I love that the High Priestess card came through. So in ancient Egypt times, the initiation to become a high priestess or a god was you had to overcome your fears. And how they would do this is they would fill a cavern, a room filled with water, and the initiate had to jump through. They would fill the water with alligators and crocodiles or whatever, and the initiate had to jump through the water, go underneath. There was a doorway underneath, so this doorway underneath the water, see how this is a doorway here? They had to swim through this doorway, and then they would come back up, and the other gods would be waiting for them there with applause and reward for their fearlessness. Now, what a lot of the initiates didn't know was that the crocodiles were already fed. So they were not in harm's way. So you had to have faith that the gods would not just throw you into a crocodile pit to be eaten by the crocodiles. You had to have faith that you were divinely protected and that you were taken care of. And many people didn't pass the test because they were afraid. You know, it's like going through the fire. I just posted a little meme the other day about this cat who went through the fire 5 different times to grab her kittens. And though she burned her flesh off, it didn't matter because she saved all 5 of her kittens because that's what she loved on the other side of that fire. So when you love something enough and you want something bad enough, you'll pass that fire. You'll go through those caverns of crocodiles and alligators to get to it. I love that all this is so cool. Anywho, back to the little fairy bee. So bee. Initiation passed, abundance, wishes fulfilled, golden times. So here's all that gold. I love it. So golden times, and gold, and this was over here as well, talked about gold. So that Christ consciousness energy, golden times are here. Okay, and so then we got voodoo in blue. Number 22, which is the number 4, which is about building solid foundations for the future. But it's the master teacher number, right? And right. It's about healthy boundaries and pushing buttons. People pushing your buttons. But it's also about magic. So, you know, even though she has the ability to tear people down to ashes, she doesn't, because she has a compassionate heart, right? It's only when you want to hurt people with this magic that you hurt yourself, because what you're trying to hurt is already divinely protected. We are all divinely protected with free will. So that whatever you're doing is just karma that's bouncing back on you. So yeah, voodoo and blue. And I love that it's all blue, a lot of blue here. So blue ray. And the card that came through, I love it. So look at, they're embracing here, embracing here. So on this card up here, he's embracing her. And on this card, they're embracing each other. And here she's like just by herself. But this one is sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it's truly sacred. So honor this relationship. It is sacred. It is an amazing thing. Your friendships, your soulmates, your soul family. It is sacred. Honor them every day. Appreciate them. Be grateful for them. You know, write in your journal. However you express your gratitude, be grateful. Okay, so now I'm going to go through and I'm going to read the cards from the book because I was guided to. So you can stop now if you want to, stop watching the reading now, or you can continue watching. There's beautiful messages in the writing. I know a lot of readers don't read the books, but I always like to honor whoever wrote them, you know, writing. So this is one of the reasons why I was guided to read what the people wrote. Okay?